So one of the first steps we're going to do in building a sander is we've got the sander plans. I'm going to cut them out and then spray stick them to this piece of scrap aluminum. We have, God, how thick is that? That's 5/8? Holy crap. Yeah, I've got a piece of scrap 5/8 thick aluminum here. And over here we have a motor. And we have a drive pulley. And we're going to make a sander out of that. So, I'll be back in a second after I cut this, and then we'll go to sticking it to the plate and marking our holes. Well, we're checking to make sure that our holes line up with our motor, and so far, not that I wouldn't have tried this before I turned the camera on, but I have all 4 of them lined up. I did have a problem. The tensioning bar that's supposed to go here and keep tension, for instance this way, on the belt as it goes around, the hole was in the wrong place, so I moved it to the other side. So I will have to change the plans to reflect that. Also on the plans I had these as 5/16 holes, and as we can see these are 3/8 bolts. So I have to change the plans to reflect that's a 5/16, and that hole doesn't work. We have to move the tensioner rod to the other side. Anyway, other than that, now I have to go to the mill, get a 3/8 end mill, and slot this whole place out for our slider, just the main rail. Anyway, be right back. Huh? I'm slotting out this hole for the sander thing. Alright, well, this thing looks like it's got a... Wow, where the heck am I here? There we are. So this thing now has the slot for the main adjuster bar. It has a whole bunch of holes in it, but remember this was a scrap piece of aluminum, so just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this one for the belt tensioner. All the rest of these holes are just holes left over from the last life of this piece of aluminum. It's getting ready to start a new life. Anyway, got the hole slotted. Now we're going to countersink these 4 holes and then get some measurements on how deep we're going to have to put the taper lock on the motor. Right on. Well, now we've countersunk the holes. So as you can see, those fit right on in. And there they go. And then this is going to end up sitting something like this. I think these are too long. I'll probably have to... Oh, wait, maybe not. Size of this 1/4 inch. No. 7/32. Yes. Ooh, look at that. So, yeah, that's what it's going to end up looking like. And then it's going to have a big drive wheel on it. Something like that. That's the next thing we have to do, is make the adapter for our drive wheel. So, anyway, after we make the adapter, we'll come back and put that together. Well, here we are with the sanding head. I have spray glued it. Uh-oh, product placement again. Oh, product placement. Spray glued my pattern and stuck it to this piece of aluminum. And this is going to be, wow, I have to stand back. This is going to be the sanding head. So I'll have a big spool there. Something sort of like that. Can we see this? Yeah. Kind of like one there, and I put a radius in here so that it can be adjustable. Anyway, I've got to go cut. Man, that is shiny. I've got to go cut the rest of this out. Really, this is all chunks of scrap that I dug out of the scrap pile. So I'm going to build a sander completely out of scrap. Anyway, be right back. So I don't know if we have gone over this yet, but the next thing we have to do is this is going to be the swivel for the tensioner, the belt tensioner. So we have to eat up all of this area for this to fit on the back side of here and be able to swivel something like that. So I'm getting ready to head to the mill and gouge all this out and make stanchions for my hinges, for my hinge pins. Be right back. Well, we got our piece chucked up in the mill, and I've got a big old 1.5-inch hogger there because there's a lot of material. I have to go down a 1/2 inch here and all the way across. The only things that don't get, I should probably mark those while I'm standing here. The only things that don't get hogged out are that and a little piece over here on the end. Other than that, a 1/2 inch off the top of this plate is going to be gone. Anyway, so get ready to turn on my lube. We're going to do some hogging. Anyway, I'll be back about halfway through just to show you how we're doing. Yeah, I know the noise is pretty annoying right now. Maybe I can turn it down when I edit this. But that's it, getting hogged out. Uh-oh. Got a malfunction. Look out. There we go. This is making a really big mess. That's a lot of material to get rid of. I should have sawed it out, but I didn't want to mess it up. Anyway, there we go. Alright, so we're kind of at a halfway spot here. That piece is going to stay, this piece is going to stay, and part of that little piece is going to stay for a hinge stanchion. All of that is going to go, so I'm going to leave the big hogger in, take that mess out, then change bits and come back and do some little detail work in there, and then go do another dry fit and see where we're at. Right on. Alright, well, I've ended up popping this one out of here. Oh, and here I can't see what I'm doing again. Story of my life. Where am I at? Flip over. Flip screen, flip. Oh, dadgummit. Anyway, so I've milled these out, the slots here, and the piece that I actually cut out of here, we're going to go ahead and do the notching in here. And then that I'll pop a pin in down here, and then this will swivel for the belt tracking. This will so then that will fit thusly and swivel. Got to put a washer on the back. That'll swivel that way. This will sit in that pocket and swivel that way. But I've made these long enough that it'll offset it a little out so I can actually go in a little bit this way as well as out the other way. Somewhere around here is the sprocket that sits on this thing. But anyway, you get the idea. That's what it's going to do when I get done. I have to go back and try to remember what the heck notching dovetailing. I'll figure it out in a minute. Be right back. Well, we've completed another segment of this. That we have the swivel plate, and we have the hinge for the tracking, the belt tracking. This thing needs to set up a little bit, so I cut off a piece of, God, I don't even know what that is. It's not 1/8 inch, but I'm going to set it in here, put this in there, and then clamp it down. That seems to be pretty smooth and level. Now I'm going to drill a number 7 drill bit through this, because this is going to end up having a 1/4 20 thread to it. So this one will have a 1/4 20 thread. That'll be a 1/4 inch hole, that'll be a 1/4 inch hole, that'll be a 1/4 inch hole, and that'll be a 1/4 inch hole. And then I'll have a shoulder bolt, a 1/4 inch shoulder bolt. It'll go all the way through and then thread into the end. I'll cut off whatever's left and then put a notch in it with a grinder for a screwdriver slot. So now I'm going to go drill my number 7 hole in there, and then I'll come back and drill the 1/4 inch hole through the other 3. Well, I took this thing over to the drill press, and we drilled this number 7 hole in here, and it went all the way through, and look at that, we've got a doggone hinge. How does this stuff happen? Okay. And I might actually even shave some off the back of this one, just to give me a, oh no, I have plenty of negative angle. You see that with that 1/16 or 3/32 piece of aluminum that I stuck in there, that it gave me a nice little gap. So this would be my positive angle, and this would be my negative angle. So I do have some negative angle. I can put it together, and if I need more negative angle, then I can shave the back of this. I can cut it, wedge it. But I'd like to have all this meat for the roller to fit into. Anyway, it's getting pretty near lunchtime, so I think I'm going to take my hinge, let it cool off, and go to lunch. See y'all after a bit. All right, I've got my swinging part of the hinge piece here. Drilled my hole for threads, 27/64 by the way, for 1/2 inch 13. Got our tap handle, and since I am not that great at making straight holes, here's some more of that product placement stuff. Oh, what the heck does this say? Big Gator Tools. Oh, it's a tap guide. So, I guess we ought to juice her up a little bit. We won't go through the whole thing, but put my guide on. Oh, there we go. Guide's nice and flat. Get the tap headed the right direction. Oh. And it looks like it's going in nice and straight. And remember, it is aluminum I'm dealing with here, so I gotta back up every once in a while, take it all the way out, make sure I'm not gulling anything up. Aluminum is some sticky stuff. They make some more product placement. Tap Magic. Tap Magic for aluminum. I find that it does work a little bit better than regular Tap Magic or other tapping fluids for aluminum. Just the one I like. But it seems to be working pretty good, don't it? Okay, enough on tapping.